Franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
Pickett didn't quite lead Pittsburgh to the promised land in his first season as the hometown kid and franchise quarterback, but he did impress once he got on the field. Winning 7 games helped keep the vaunted streak of non-losing seasons alive in the Steel City.
Now the third-year man, Najee Harris, trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. He's just got to be thinking, I hope that's not a harbinger of things to come. Very first pass of the afternoon, picked.
And where do you go from here? Because when you start that way, do you allow that to seep into you and stay with you the rest of the game? Or do you find a way out of it? We're going to find out.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. After the interception, here's Jackson. Downfield throw tip, but he still got it. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jake Ferguson, 50 yards. And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
That's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling the fact that the ball got turned over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And he returns this to the 22. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Pickett back to throw. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him, because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. And sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Olszewski now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. He's piloted 2 drives so far, and unfortunately not very well piloted. Both led to interceptions. Now they're facing the deficit. Another touchdown after that previous pick. Starting over here, 1st and 10. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 19-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Pickett now from the gun here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back to throw, Pickett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Cowboys are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this 1st quarter of play. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That is caught by Lamb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Kenny Pickett and the Steelers ready to work once again. And he'll be looking to snap a pretty unwelcome start to this ball game. Interceptions on his first 3 drives. They'll look to turn things around here as they start with a 1st down. Here's Pickett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Looking to throw. Pickett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of the quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll roll him out. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That caught by the rookie tight end, Luke Schoonmaker. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now 2nd and 5. Throwing is Jackson. Forced out to his left. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. Now it's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jake Ferguson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys are pouring it on. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They hand this off to Harris, and he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So on 4th down, the Steelers going to bring in Braden Mann to punt. CeeDee Lamb deep for the Cowboys. This is taken at about the 14. And just shedding him off there. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive. Together. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 63 yards.
That's how you put field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Odell Beckham as time expires in the first half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own? Or maybe the analytics coach got involved. And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in and there on the final play of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Eagles got a solid first half from last year's MVP runner-up, Jalen Hurts. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is Tony Pollard. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a first down throw complete downfield. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 69 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Pickett leads his Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 25-yard line. Harris will start the drive out. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the 1st quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. A short one there to Freiermuth. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the gun, here's Pickett. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Pickett. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball. Just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case...
Well, we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guys? They do any tip drills?
I think they work on it as well, oftentimes in the Hail Mary situations, because you're actually counting on a ball being tipped to give you an extra chance to catch it. They use that training well.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Going to take a shot for Gallup. Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Pickett. He finds Pickens over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Now this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Pickett to throw on 1st down. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Pickett on 2nd down. Setting up the screen, Harris. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Pickett will look to throw it here. Pass over the middle, tipped, but he still brings it in. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're...
Pickett lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And now look at him go. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Olszewski now from his end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.